Hello everyone, my name is Manuela and I'm going to present to you an article written with my teacher Décio. I am a PhD student and this article is about emotional design in functional economy and product service systems towards behavior change. Introducing the research context and objectives, some authors point out that several studies related to product service systems have already been developed lately, but their applications are still limited because they imply changes in the society and consumer behavior. For consumers, one of the main barriers is in the change of perceptions, since some types of PSS proposes satisfaction of need by using products without ownership. The transition to a functional economy, focused on the function and not on the possession, cannot be done without a behavior change and the redesign of patterns of consumption and lifestyle. This shift in focus introduces a new relationship between consumers and products, since in some types of PSS, the user is no longer the owner of a product. The possession of a product can generate an attachment from the user, which creates an emotional bond with objects, resulting in behaviors that simulate their responsibility with that artifact. Norman points out that there are three levels of emotional design: visceral, behavioral, and reflective. They can be considered to understand customer journey and to provide insights to the design of new services that can promote the dematerialization of physical products. Thus, this article aims to characterize the contribution of emotional design in functional economy and product service systems as a way to enable behavior change. It aims to show the relevance of emotional design for sustainable development, for the possibility of promoting more sustainable habits and the transition from an industrial-based economy to an economy focused on the offer of functionality and value in use. So, what is functional economy? Functional economy proposes to optimize the use or function and to contribute to better resources management. One of its main issues is transition from an industrial economy geared to the production and sale of material goods to an economy and new consumption model centered on services and functions, where products are only means to provide functions and satisfaction, and a new model of consumption and disruption in consumer and supplier relationships. Economically, it aims to create the highest use value possible for as long as possible while consuming the least amount of resources and energy. Product service systems consist in the sale of the use of a product instead of the product itself, in a system of products, services, networks, and of actors and supporting infrastructure that seeks to meet consumer needs and remain competitive with fewer impacts than traditional models. It can be related to functional economy. User pays for the use of a solution or the function of the product and not for its ownership. PSS are design strategies for sustainability with medium and long-term sustainable aims. The design process should broaden its approach, not only considering functional issues, but in terms of satisfaction and emotional aspects, shifting the focus of a product to a broader system that satisfies a specific demand. Emotional design is a field that emerged in the international design scene in the late 90s. It considers a design beyond functional performance, exploring the relationship between logical and emotional aspects of a product. One of the most known authors, Norman, considers the existence of three levels of emotional design: visceral, behavioral, and reflective, which can be considered in the project of products and services. The first level, visceral, is automatic and immediate, related to the first perception of a product, like its aesthetic and design for appearance. The second level, behavioral, is related to the evaluation of function, comfort, and ease of use. The highest layer is the reflective level, the contemplative and conscious part of the brain, which corresponds to the meaning and status of using a product or service. Some authors relate the concept of product attachment to the reflective level of emotional design, since this link between product and user can be created by memories, positive emotions, and special meanings. In some cases, an attachment may not necessarily be with an object, but with the meaning and feelings it represents. There is an opportunity to add meaning to new PSS, including emotional characteristics, to create an attachment, even if temporary, to attract and engage customers. Some authors also point out that positive experiences can be explored to fully satisfy the customer's functional and emotional demands, and influence users' behavior towards the adoption of more sustainable practices, considering the user in the development and offering a co-created value. And now we will explain the methods applied in this research. First, we developed an initial service of scientifically indexed publications and a systemic analysis to identify the theoretical background. And next, to collect and analyze data, we applied the categorical and thematic analysis based on the content analysis method. It is an empirical method with a quantitative and qualitative approach. It can be summarized in 3 stages. Pre-analysis, which consists of organizing the content and the first reading. Content exploitation, in which the content is subdivided in categories. And at last, the results analysis, based on the defined analysis categories. In this research, we applied a quantitative and a qualitative analysis, based both on the most frequent words present in each article and also in qualitative reading. Next, for defining the analysis categories, we made associations and equivalences of similar terms with several groupings and exclusions. At last, we compared the defined emotional analysis categories with the functional economy and PSS literature, thus being able to propose strategies for PSS in the functional economy that consider emotional design in their conception and development. Based on this analysis, we understand that the contribution of emotional design to functional economy and PSS is of 4 distinct natures. 1. Strategies for product design. 2. Emotional, psychological, and cognitive aspects. 3. Experiences. And 4. User-centered design. Now we will go through each one of them. In the first category, strategies in product design. The visceral design should be present, like in the visceral appeal, perceived in the first contact, not only in the design of the products involved in the PSS, but also in the other supports. The behavioral design should meet the functionality demand, not only in the products involved, but in all the artifacts that make up the PSS. The reflective design should allow awareness and contribute to users with more conscious habits, to introduce feelings of accomplishment when using cleaner models, and also propose a new status and modernity related to awareness. The second category, emotional, psychological, and cognitive aspects, should consider the needs and desires. The needs seek to meet the demand when solving a specific need like mobility, practically results, and the desires may vary according to culture, country, age group, like young people that are more flexible to open to new proposals, and this should be considered. The psychological ownership, the ownership is temporary and occurs at the level of shared objects. It should encourage users to take care of artifacts not only to allow use by other users, but because they also should use the PSS again, also allowing customer loyalty. In the consumption behavior, PSS proposals should encourage users to change their attitudes and propose new consumer behavior, offering advantage and differentials such as savings, flexibility. The attachment does not have to be by ownership and physical attachment. It can be the result of an experience and a felt emotion when using a PSS, creating a user bond with the brand. The category 3 experiences, considering emotional and functional aspects. It should provide positive experiences, addressing the functional aspects related to needs like mobility, practically practicality results, and also consider emotional aspects such as safety, comfort, flexibility, happiness. In PSS, the experiences are felt by the combination of product plus services systems, which can be in three modalities: product-oriented, user-oriented, and result-oriented. And last, it should offer complete solutions that offer beyond the obvious, not just the use of a PSS, but all the supports should also uphold the offer with added value. And the last category, user-centered design, should consider user evaluation and the user participation in the development process to meet the interests expected by the individual, to be well evaluated by them, besides offering feedback and constant implementations. And it should also have a partner network working together to deliver customer satisfaction in a multidisciplinary team. And to the conclusion, we understand that design has a potential to contribute to people's behavior change, especially in promoting attitudes that allow more conscious and sustainable consumption. One of these strategies that can be used is emotional design. The change in user behavior in adopting more sustainable practices can come from the experiences felt in the PSS, which, even if offering temporary ownership, are capable of allowing an emotional bond. They show us that it is possible to maintain the emotional attachment without physical ownership and products purchased, and still be able to offer a memorable experience that satisfies the user's need and can allow consumer loyalty. By applying these concepts in PSS projects, they can contribute to the adoption of more sustainable practices by consumers and users, besides contributing with the generation of complete solutions that offer added value experiences to consumers. Thank you all for your attention. I hope you have enjoyed watching this presentation. Feel free to contact me if you want to know more about the research, if you have any questions or considerations.